What's up, Liza? What's going on? Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome in. Just good Sunday evening, y'all. I hope you all are doing well. Just coming in now. I've been enjoying my Sunday evening, just relaxing and cooking a nice meal. As you guys see, I posted my dinner I prepared today. I'm like, you know what, y'all? I know how to cook. I'm like, before I I was going to go out. I was like, what I want to eat? Do I want to go out and get a crab boil, some pasta, seafood? I was feeling like seafood, and I'm like, do I want to go out and get a crab boil, or do I want to go and get pasta? And I'm thinking, you went shopping this week. You bought mussels, you bought shrimp, you bought salmon. You bought all the fixings, right? How y'all doing? So I'm sitting here going, why am I going to go out to a restaurant, right? And don't get me wrong. Now I like a good meal at a good seat at a good restaurant, but I'm thinking, you went shopping this week. You bought all the ingredients to make you a nice seafood pasta. You bought the shrimp. You bought the mussels. You bought the noodles. You got all the other stuff at home. You got the salmon. So I'm like, hey, you vajaba, you, well, hey, you. I don't want to pronounce. What is that, vegabas? Well, welcome in, you. Can I just call you you? Because I don't do good on names, and I'm not sure what to call you. You vegabas. I don't know. Habas. I don't know. But welcome in. I hope you hit the like button, and I hope you subscribe to the channel. I just want to say hi if you're just stopping by, and hopefully you're a friend and not a foe. But thank you for stopping in. So I was just sitting here like, man, let's go ahead and cook. So I boiled my pasta, got my mussels together, got my medley of onions. You know how you can buy the bag onions and peppers and stuff together. I'm like, let's cook. Let's cook. So I seasoned up that salmon, y'all, with some lemon pepper, some fine sea salt, some pepper, regular pepper, some garlic, some lemon juice, all that good stuff. I threw the salmon in the air fryer. I got my mussels going with some garlic and butter. I buy the frozen mussels now because I bought the live mussels before. I don't do that. So I bought the frozen mussels, so I kind of cheated. But I doctored it up a little bit. I threw some lemon juice in there. I threw some more garlic in there. I threw some more butter in there. I threw the vegetable medley in there. Well, the peppers and onions in there. And I threw the shrimp in there. Fresh seafood shrimp, local shrimp up in there. And I'm just like, okay, we gonna do this, y'all. So I end up taking, I kind of like looked at what I spent. So if I look at the food costs, I probably altogether for that serving was probably no more than $10, y'all. Cause guess what? I got more. So I bought enough salmon where I bought a half a pound of salmon, and it was on sale. I think the salmon was on sale. I forgot what I paid for the salmon, but I got a half a pound salmon which I could make two meals out of, right? So I cut that in half, and then I bought a half a pound of shrimp. I'm like, I don't need all this shrimp in this. Y'all see the amount of shrimp I had. Did I buy a pound? Oh, a half a pound. I think I bought a half a pound. And so y'all saw the amount of shrimp I had in there. So I'm looking at my total, and the noodles were like maybe $2 a box, and mussels were like close to $5. No, the mussels, y'all, was 2 box for $4 and some change. So take that. I didn't pay that much for the mussels. So basically, 1 box of mussels was free. So I'm looking at that entire meal, that entire serving. I'm looking at under $10. Where if I went somewhere else, I would have probably paid like what, $30, $40 for shrimp, salmon, mussels, pasta, and then I got my old-fashioned cocktail, that right there would have been average about $12 by itself. Hey, grateful too. So bought a bottle of bourbon. Y'all know I got my fixings for my old-fashioned, and old-fashioned. All you need is a little bit of sugar, which I got the liquid sugar, the one you buy in the bottle, right? And you need your bitters. I don't have the orange. You know how you zest an orange, right? And your bitters, your old and your sugar, right? And you got your bourbon. You got your old fashioned, right there. Hey, grateful too. How are you? So hit the like button. So I just shared my Sunday meal with you all. So I decided to cook and make my own old fashioned. The meal altogether would have probably cost me about almost $50 somewhere else. Making at home, maybe $15. So I feel good about that. I'm like, girl, let's cook. I went to the store and spent all this money on all these different things. I done been to Harris Teeter about 2 times, y'all. I think I done been to Harris 3 times this week, and each time I spent about $85. And so totally in Harris Teeter over the past week, I spent close to $300 in Harris Teeter. Um, and Lord, y'all, that is not a lot of food. That I'm telling you is not a lot of food. Mm-mm. Don't get it twisted. I'll even Harris Teeter. Thank you for the floating heart. Grateful too. Thank you. I appreciate that. You guys, it's coming to the end of the month. I got my goal set. I got it set for super chat. Any amount you want to send. I'm trying to bulk my channel up for the end of the month coming up pretty soon. If you guys can help with either super sticker, super chat, or gifts, I would appreciate it. Thank you. And if you can't, understood, still appreciate it. Not obligated, but appreciate anything to help bulk this channel up. So I got 10 goals set. If y'all want to help me get to the goal, I don't care if it's a 99 cent, $1.99, just bulking my channel up for this month here. And I appreciate that folding heart. Grateful too. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Hey, so I got people coming in. Everybody's kind of looking in. I don't know who. I got 2 people in the chat. How many people I got in the chat? 3 people in the chat. I got Liza in the chat. Y'all know they keeping count of my chat, right? Y'all know they coming over counting. Who she got? 12 people in her chat. She got 3. I'm thankful and grateful for you guys being here. Thank you guys. So what's going on? How's everybody doing? What's going on in you guys' world? Is everybody okay? I hope everybody is well. Are you guys doing okay? That's Colby. Somebody probably passing by. I appreciate that, y'all. Hit the like button. Y'all can't hit that like button. I got 26 people listening. I don't have a lot to talk about, y'all. It's Sunday. It's a good Sunday. Nothing bad. Nothing too much happening on my side. I was talking to my friend from Maryland. Well, she lives in Maryland now. And we were just talking, got off the phone. She was mad because she went out to buy some chicken and she just paid $19 for 8 pieces of wing. Eight pieces of chicken, 8 chicken wings. No, 8 chicken wings and a small okra. We were talking about, girl, you could have went home, opened a bag of chicken wings, and fry that chicken wing and fry that okra up your dang own self. These prices are out here making you want to cook more at home, man. I'm telling you. These prices out here and the food is subpar. It's not even as good as it used to be in many places. So she's talking about, yep, I'm going to the store right now to buy me some shrimp so I can fry my own shrimp. She's going to make shrimp for dinner tomorrow. I'm like, wow. Y'all hit that like button. 16 people, 16 likes, 26. If you're new to the channel, welcome in. You're hearing the voice of Justice Reacts, a content creator that talks about a lot of different things. If you're new to the channel, welcome in. Think about subscribing to the channel. If not, I appreciate you stopping by. Um, I'm out here just thinking. Something came across my mind today. Y'all know I talk about things that come across my mind, and I was talking about, thinking about retirement and disability and everything like that, and some of the talk I've heard about people retirements and disability. And I sometimes think, some people really understand what that looks like for a lot of people in different cases. For myself, my dad, I'm gonna use my dad for example. My dad went into the military at 18, 17 or 18. He came out of the military. He was in his 40s, early 40s, about 43, 44, when he came out of the military. Full military service, already retired, did all his service time, over 20 something years in the military. Did not have to go back to work. He also had his retirement. He also had his disability because y'all remember him telling you all that he jumped out of a plane. He was a 101st Airborne. Y'all remember my dad telling the story. He jumped out of a plane, crushed, landed, parachute did something, and crushed his foot. And they repaired the foot, and he stayed in the military. He didn't come out. He went back to work. But when he came out, after all those years in the military, even after a crushed foot after jumping out of an airplane, he got his retirement. My dad didn't have to go back to work. My dad did not have to go back to work. Instead, he went and became a he went to the civil side. What is it? Um, I forgot what it's called. But he worked for the shipyard, which put him under as a civil something employee. I forgot what it's called. And he worked there for a number of years. And he retired from there. But yet, he still wasn't finished. He decided to go in business for himself. He opened up a bar. He had a bar for a number of years, a bar, lounge, restaurant for a number of years. And I remember I was working. If I remember telling you guys the story, I was a police officer at the time, and I was working. I was on the other side of the island. I was on John's Island working at the time, patrolling John's and Wadmalaw at the time. Because you got James Island, you got John's Island, you got Wadmalaw now. In that area, you got Wadmalaw, John's Island, then Wadmalaw, Keywa, and Seabrook, right? And when you're assigned to that part of the island, that's where you're assigned to, right? So it's two people assigned in this area, right? You got one officer might be on James Island where I live and where my dad's business was located. And then you have the officer. We patrol, we could be on any part of the island at any given time. So when you work in the islands, you got James, Johns, Wadmalaw, Seabrook, Keywa Beach, and you got going past Wadmalaw, I think it's like Cherry Point boat landing, and somewhere further, I forgot the other part when you get to the end. You guys don't know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to explain. I think you're grateful. So you may be patrolling that entire area between two officers assigned to that area. So you got all the islands in that area, right? So my dad's business was on James Island. So I remember I was on John's Island at the time, and the car came out and said this business was on fire. And I'm like, oh shit, that's my dad's business. Y'all. So I'm on the other side of the island. I'm on John's Island, maybe on Wadmalaw somewhere. And I hear the call go out, and I hear the name of my dad's business. So I'm like, oh shoot, that's my dad's business. So I'm hardtailing. I'm like, 113, responding. So I'm hauling, y'all. I don't know what speed I hit. I'm like, that's my dad's business. My dad's business on fire. And so I got there, the damn place was in flames, and my dad, the business burnt down. People were taking the alcohol. I'm helping my dad. I'm loading up the stuff in my cruiser. Everybody's loading up, trying to help him out and whatever. But my dad lost that business, and that was his business right after he came out of the. Matter of fact, I think he may have had that business while he was working at the shipyard. Uh, Grateful says, I cook at home primarily because I can eat health, keep it healthier. Yeah, you got a lot more control of what goes into the food, Grateful. I understand that as well. Like you can control the salt and everything else. And, so you got a lot more control of what you put into your home cooking. And like I said, and it tastes better. You get to fix it to your tasting. So I agree. It's healthier, probably, most likely, and it tastes better. Um, so much agree. So yeah, so my dad's business burnt down, and this is after he had retired from the military, and I think he had this business, but he may have been still working at the shipyard, civil service or whatever. He was still doing that, and so after the business burnt down, years later he opened up his food trucks business. So you understand now he could have retired. He didn't even have to work. But this is the type of man that just can't sit down. This is the type of man that reminds me of one of my partners that um, was in the military as well, and he left the police force at 86, y'all. He left the police force at 86 years old. And years right after he left the police force, he passed away. But this man trained me. He has a awesome name at the sheriff department, but he worked until he was 86 years old. They let him work. They let him rank up. They took him all the way. I forgot what his rank was when he retired. But when I worked with him, he wasn't my PO, he wasn't my training officer. Um, you have your training officers, but he trained me. We worked together well. He was an older officer. He's been on the force for a while, but he was old when I came on the police force. He was probably already in his 50s, in his 40s or 50s when I met him. Um, and he didn't leave until he was 86 years old. So there are a lot of people that just don't want to retire, and they don't have to. They got all their benefits. They done retired from a job. I have a lot of people that came down from New York, retired on the New York Police Force Transit. They retired as New York police officers or transit officers, the one that works the subways or whatever transit system they call transit officers, and they come down to the South with their retirement and their pension, and they come on the police force and make more money, and they relax. They come down from up north and they're already retired, but they want to keep working, so they join the police force down here and continue working. So I'm just saying this: people that a lot of question why people work. A lot of people work um, because they can and they want to. There's no magic age to stop working. You know, there's no magic age where people have to stop. A lot of time retirement was based on the government thinking that, hey, you're not going to live that long, right? Retirement was based on the length of time people was working. Social Security was based on the length of time people would work. The government estimated people were dying at age 50, 60. You weren't supposed to collect that money. Okay, they were betting that you wouldn't make a certain age because the time they were estimating people dying. We were living longer than what the government expected us to live. We weren't supposed to be living to our 70s and 80s and 60s. We were supposed to be gone by the time we were in our 50s, 55, 60, based on the things that were going on in the world. They didn't expect us to be living to 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. So when we look at the system, we think you're supposed to be retired. That's based on an old system. Social Security And retirement is based on the old system. You know, they didn't expect us to be living way past 55s and 60s. The Social Security wasn't expecting to pay us no money. um, you know, they wasn't expecting us to be still living past 55 and 60, you know, based at that time. So we living in an old, uh, we living on time past what they wanted us to live. But just to say that, I have friends now that are, for myself, I have not co-workers, former partners that are on the police force. The young man that I shared with you all that went to dinner with me, my partner he is just now turning 50. He is able to retire. He is not going to retire. Why? Because the money is good. He is 50 years old. He could sit down on the police force in South Carolina. You could retire after 25 years. You're vested after 8. And if you give them 25 years, you could retire. Or you can retire at 55. He could retire. He joined the force. I think he was like he was younger than me. He was probably in his early 20s. I was 28 or 28 years old when I joined the police force. He was young, much younger than me. And my best friend, he was 22. And he just retired at 50, 51. He just retired. And he didn't have to. But he finally called it in after that many years. He finally retired, and he didn't have to. Like now, he's still working. He went and now this. Now he don't have to work, y'all. But he went and got a security job at the hospital. Now this is a man that already got all his retirement, his pension, full pension in, but he's not ready to finish working. So he went on and took a job doing security at the hospital. So this just to say, just because people are not working, um, or not retired, is not that they have anything going on. People work as long as they can work, and some people just like, hey, I quit. I did my time. I gave my 25 years. I gave my 30 years. I'm done. A lot of people don't feel like that. A lot of people are like, hey, I want to work, and it's up to the person. It's not a something that is a must. It's up to the person whether they want to retire or not. Same thing when it comes to disability. There's a difference between SSI and SDI, right? Somebody get injured on a job, somebody has a disability, and they worked enough to earn enough points, but something happens, an illness, a disability. They put enough time in the books at SSDI, they may get Social Security disability. They don't have to return to work. And then they can work, and they just can't work a lot of hours. They're allowed to work so many hours. I have a friend, my best friend, right? One of my best friends. Well, yeah. Unfortunately, she was diagnosed with kidney disease in her 40s. And she had a very lucrative job, very good job, may paying over 100,000 a year. But unfortunately, she was diagnosed with stage, she had a stage 4 or 5 kidney, and had a kidney transplant, and had to leave her job and take Social Security disability. But she had invested a number of years already where it's able to take care of her. She doesn't have to work. She put enough time in. Um, but she's young, very young. And, but because of the renal failure, it caused her to, but this is a person that, has her own home, pays her mortgage through her disability, and she could work if she wants to, earn a few hours. But that's something else that happens when people start working very young in their late 40s or 50s. Doesn't mean that something happens. It happens. Like, um, I could have stopped working and received SSDI, but not SSI. Now that's when you have SSI is for indigent people, people that are indigent, don't have any work, doesn't have any skills, can't work, and it's normally an indigent type of payment. SSDI is when you done work, you done put the time in, you earn the time, you get a check for SSDI, Social Security Disability Income. It's different from SSI, but I choose to keep working. I chose to keep working. I chose to, because I just couldn't see myself sitting down. Um, and that's where it's good. And so a lot of people just don't understand. I'm not sure why there's a lack of understanding, maybe because some people are not been in that type of situation to understand how retirement, how disability works, right? How pensions work. Um, so yeah, so that's it, guys. That's what I came to talk about. It's not a lot to talk about. I know a lot of things are going on, and a lot more interesting things are going on. But I just want to talk about it because a lot of times there's a lot of false narratives that are being spoken about people that are not working, have retired, maybe on disability, and people don't understand how it works, how disability works, how SSDI works, um, how pensions work. Pension is something else, and how retirement. I mean, a lot of us are at age where you can retire at 45 if you got the time in 50. Some people, uh, they put enough. If you make enough investment, if you make the right investments, hell, you can retire at 30 something if you make the right investment with your money. Hell, retirement, people can retire at any age as long if they take their money and they invest correctly. Hell, they can retire in their 30s. You play. Some people go into the stock markets and they could retire. I consider it rude and intrusive for people to place their retirement age judgment on others. Most definitely, retirement is personal decision influenced by finances, health, and a lot of people don't understand that. Grateful too, because they think it's this age, is this number, and it's not just a number. It's not based on a number. It's like you said, it's based on finance, health, family responsibility, and personal fulfillment. You said it. I wish. Let me pin that. Let me pin that. I'm gonna pin that because a lot of people don't understand it, and it's just based on so many things. So many things could happen where you want to retire, or you may want to, but things happen. Illness may because you come out of your job early, or because you retire. So many factors can play in your life, and if people understood that, you know, they would understand. It's so many factors. There is no set age or time. That's the government betting that you gonna, that's the government setting. It's based on what you want to do and what's going on in your life, right? It's based. My dad could have sat down at 44 and never do a thing again, except except collect his retirement checks and his disability check from the military. That wasn't my dad. My dad did not retire until he was 70. He didn't have to work. This man did not have to work at all, but it was a matter of personal fulfillment. This man is not a person that would have sat down. He couldn't. That was not in him to sit down and just collect a check. Let me tell you, when he stopped working, guess what he was doing? He was going around to his sister's house, building stuff. He had to keep busy. He was keeping busy until the time he left us, until he couldn't keep it until his 80. My dad was flipping cars in his 80s. My dad also got into Jewelry making. I wish I can find some of his stuff. My dad was making jewelry out of spoons, y'all. My dad was making rings and bracelets, y'all. He got into. I mean, this man don't know how didn't know how to sit down. He did not know how to sit down. He had to be doing something. He had to be working on his cars. He had to be building something. He had to go to his sisters and repair stuff in his 80s. And that's his fulfillment. He didn't know how to sit down. Thank you, grateful for the $1.99. Much appreciated. So when we judge people about where they're at in life, working, not working, you don't know. All right. When people talk about, oh, why you start working at 50? Some people could start working at 50. Some people may have something that happened where they don't work, but they put enough time in that they can afford to not work anymore. They have earned the time for Social Security disability. They have earned that time. If you put in the time and something happens, you're going to get that. That's why you work. That's why they take the money out your damn check every month. So, a lot of times we're judging people based on their age and why they should be working and why they're not working. You never know the situation. You don't know, and I can't say no more than what Grateful said. So many factors. And with today's economy, you'll be surprised how many people may have to return to work. Because some people may have retired at 50, and if they don't have enough income to enough money or things in whatever they plan to carry them through into their 80s, if they're still living, some people got 20 retired at 50 and may have to go back to work at 70 if everything's not working out. And a lot of times you see that a lot of people retire at a certain age and may have to return back to work because they outlived what they have in their bank account and what they have in their retirement. Sometimes people have to return back to work to meet the economy. If the economy is bad and things are more, some people may have to return back to work. They have enough for now, but guess what? And then some people go back to work, guess why? Because they're sitting at home bored. They're sitting at home bored. They they don't want to be at home anymore. They either want to volunteer or go back to work part time or do something to feel like a purpose. Sometimes people are driven to go back to work. Like, I got to be doing something. Or some people just the enjoyment of getting up and having something to do. So when we sit here and judge people on why they're working at a certain age, understand how that works. Especially if you don't have, understand how that works. That doesn't mean somebody is broke or poor. People working at a certain age may be just what it is. I promise you, my dad didn't have to work. I promise you, James didn't have to work for the police department. I promise you, my friend right now that is working security that retired from the police force. I promise you that boy don't have to work. But he don't want to sit his ass down at 50 or 51. He don't have to return to work. But he working. But he's working. He don't have to work at all. There's so many people that don't have to work but choose to. And when you have a choice, it makes a difference. But I like what Grateful said. I think you said it all. Her medication on commercial insurance is cheaper versus her going. Ms. Dimple, I have an employee who's 72 years old and she cannot afford to retire financially. Medication on commercial insurance is cheaper versus going on Medicare. Wow. Hey, Miss Dimple, thank you for coming in. People don't understand that. The economy, medication, people work. They have to go back to work for some reason. It's not that they didn't do their time. The economy makes it where people may have to return to work. You got your time in, you got your money, but it may just be something that you wasn't expecting. Nobody was expecting to pay this kind of money for medication and for food at this time. So what may have worked 2 years ago may not be working today. What may have worked 5 years ago when you retire may have a different look today. You may have looked real good in retirement 5 years ago. When you retired 10 years ago, shit looked good. The economy changed, shit may not look too good. You may have to go back into the workforce, or shit, you may just want to go back to work on your own. Something may change, y'all. Y'all gotta understand that. Some of y'all sit on here and probably have never worked in your life, never known what it's worth to earn a pension or retirement, and you have a lot to say, and you don't even have a pension, you don't have no retirement, you don't have anything. You don't have SSDI, you don't have anything into the system, but you got a lot to say. And you don't understand it. And I'm being serious. You don't understand it. And if you understood it, you wouldn't sit there and judge people based on, you know, a lot of things. Keep in mind that companies years ago offered a pension where companies they only offered 401k and only matched the 6% of what you contribute. Miss Step was correct. And if the economy and everything, it ain't gonna look right. What looked good 4 years ago don't look good today. Okay? I have a friend right now. I promise y'all, she is so good with her money, better than me. Better than me. If you think she gonna retire now, 4 years ago she looked at retirement. At 55, guess what? Retirement probably don't look good to her until probably 62 or 57, 62. She's looking at maybe another few years. What looked good a few years ago don't look the same today. You know, you don't know how long you're going to be in there. If you got a bank right now, you may have $300,000, $400,000 or more in your retirement fund. Looking at your retirement, you got thinking now you 55 and you 55 and you got a little over $300,000, 400,000. You retire now. Think about that now. You retire with $400,000 at 55. Average that out if you live another damn 30 years. Don't look too right, does it? No, it don't. We already figured out you're gonna need well over, you know, I don't even want to say. Man, Justice, you talking my language. I love talking about insurance and pension, 401 and Roth IRA. I love talking about topics that we can benefit from. Most definitely, Miss Dimple J, because I have friends that we're talking about this, and we're looking at retirement. I'm looking at retirement. I'm thinking, shit. You know, I'm not touching my Social Security. Social Security. You know, somebody said, go ahead. You know, I talked about taking it at 62. Hell no, I'm not touching that thing. I thought I wanted to take it at 62. So many people told me, when not you guys. You guys told me not to touch it. A lot of you guys said don't touch it. So I'm thinking, I'm a draw. I'm like, hell no, I'm taking. Oh, I'm not leaving nothing on the table. I refuse to touch my Social Security at 62. You're not gonna lock me in. At 62, I thought about, oh, let me think about it. Hell no, I'm not drawing my Social Security at 62. No, Between 67, 70, I'll probably draw that thing, but not at 62. That's crazy. You know how much money I'm gonna leave on the table? This is why I love you as a content creator, because you bring diverse topics to the table. Thank you, Miss Temple J. Yeah, because I thought about, oh, I want to get my Social Security out. I'm 62. Man, I looked at that sucker and I'm like, nah, that ain't what we doing. That ain't what we're doing. Mm-mm. But like I said, um, I have a lot of friends that can sit down right now in their 50s, but they're not going to for different reasons. Personal fulfillment. They love working. They want to keep earning income. They want to keep saving. They don't have to. They choose to. Just like me. I can't sit down. I told you guys I could have sat down in 2017. In 2017 I could have sat my ass down. What is that? How many years ago? 9 years ago I could have sat down and just take my money and just sit there. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I just couldn't. You changed your mind, huh? Hell yeah, I changed my mind, Dimple J. Hell yeah, I saw what they were talking about. I'm like, no, no, sir. Changed my mind real quick. Cause I always heard, no, you don't know if you're gonna live, girl. Take your money now. Tomorrow ain't promised. You 62, girl. You might not make it to 67 or 70. Girl, I said, hell no. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm not taking that. I left that Social Security right there. People I know who took retirement at 62 regret it by the time they were. That's what I'm saying. 65 or 70. I probably between 65, 70. I don't even know at 65. I don't even know at 65. Maybe 67 or 70. I don't know if I don't need to touch it, I'm not touching it. Hey Sharon, how you doing? I'm not touching it. Cause I thought about it, y'all. Every time I've heard it, yeah, when you turn 62, take it. Hell no. Hell no. That's too much money I'm leaving on the table. You know how much money I'm leaving on the table if I took that? You know how much money I would be leaving on the table. Plus, they gonna tax that with my income. They said with your plus, if they took, if let me say this, let me, just think. I'm just not gonna touch it. I'm just not. I'm not gonna say too much. I'm just not gonna touch it. That's just know that I ain't touching that sucker, not at all. Keep it till I'm 67 or 70. Nuh-uh. No, no. If I need to, I'd rather go ahead and, like I said, if I have to go out and do something different, other than that, no. Mm-mm. The two people who took their Social Security at 62 had to go up to work by. See, that's what I'm saying. I ain't doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. Not touching it. They can keep it. Hold on to it because that's crazy. And like I said, a lot of people had to return back to work. Grateful to a lot of people retired at. Some people, according to your income, according to your pension plan, it's according to so many different aspects. People are different because, like I said, it's according. So it's hard to judge any one person on any because you different states, different type of employment. Some people can retire at 50, never return to work. They're good. Some people can retire at 67. I have a friend that's a nurse. I think she could have retired, but this is the type of person she is. I'm not leaving nothing on the table. Okay? She sat there and she put all her years in. She put every last one of her years in. I think she might be 67, 68 when she came out. She like, I'm not leaving nothing on the table. Now at 68, I think she retired. I'm 62. I think she retired at 67, 68. Now this woman is traveling the world. She like, I'm not giving them nothing. And she retired at 67, 68. She like, I'm not leaving them anything on the table. She took everything. And now she traveling the world. Um, living the life of Raleigh. Because she wasn't going to leave nothing on the table. This is the nurse that I told you guys about. She retired over after 30 something years. I think she put 34, 35 years in. I think she may have put 35 years in. She like, I'm not leaving anything on the table. Two people. And so when she retired, she took everything. She took everything. Now she's like, we were talking, and she's like, mm-mm. Now she want the luxury thing about it is she can go. She says, you know what? If I want to go back to work, I work if I want to. So she thought about being going do little traveling nurse things on the side. You know, she has the ability to say, you know what, if I want to, because of her, she might go back to work and just do travel nursing. You know, she has the ability to decide to do that. She don't have to, but if she gets bored, she might want to go back and do a little bit of travel nursing. But she has that's the best part about it, having the ability to make that decision. Um, you know, I say it again. Um, a lot of people just don't understand that. A lot of people, don't understand people like just working on the side or doing things that they love to do. They think it's a must or a need. Some people just like doing it. There are people that drive Uber that don't have to drive Uber. There are people that do things, work that don't have to work, but they enjoy being out there. I love driving Uber. I haven't drove Uber since my dad died. Since October. I have not driven Uber since October, or Lyft since October. Um, do I miss it? Yes. Will I go back to it? Probably so in the future, but I enjoyed that because I got to talk to a lot of different people. Y'all know I love to talk. Uh, but it is what it is. But it's like I said, Dimple J's, and I know you got. I retired on SSD at age 58. I'm 63 now. I get a pension from one job and full SSD. I am good. There you go. So a lot of things. You retired, and then you got Social Security disability, and a lot of people don't understand Social Security. They make fun of people because they don't understand when something happens. Did you think my friend wanted to stop working? No, she didn't. But because of an illness, she had to stop working and take SSDI. Not SSI, but SSDI, because she was working full time, over 100,000 a year, but her illness drove her to stop working. So she had her retirement, her full 1K plan, and her disability, Social Security disability, that allowed her to buy her home and afford her the lifestyle that she has. Um, but she put that time in. Do you think she wanted to start working before she was 50? She didn't want to start working before she was 50. And I hear people like, why you start working at 50? You work at 50. So many things could happen. So many things could happen before you're 50. But if you've been working, you put the time in, it allows you to do that. It allows you to stop working, but also be able to take care of your bills and take care of your home and your needs. And a lot of people don't understand that. Retirement at disability at 50 don't mean you're broke or poor. It means that you may have put the time in, and you put the you have earned Social Security disability. You got your pension. You got your full 1K plan. And if you vested, because some places become vested at 8 and 10 years old, and 10 years. If you vested at 10 years, you're entitled to your full pension. Um, 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 uh, Dimples, are you in here? Because I know you know a lot about it. If your company vests you in at 8 or 10, that doesn't tie you to your full pension. Um, After you've done a certain number of years, either 55 or 20 something years, right? If you in here, if anybody in here, if you vested at 8 or 10 years and you become vested, some companies, I think law enforcement was 8 years. Uh, some jobs at 10 years you become vested. That entitles you to your full pension. Step in, yeah, justice was vested in first job 10 years. There you go. My last job 30 years. Thank you, Sharon, for coming in and sharing. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people don't understand. Y'all make fun of people and don't understand how retirement works, how Social Security disability work, how vested time work. And you're making fun of people because you don't understand how the system works. You don't understand how somebody can retire, go out on disability at 50, 45, at 45, because they don't put the time in. If they don't put on they don't invest it, they don't put the time in, 20 years in, or enough time in to invest the disability time in, they can get that money. Griff, I know doctors, registered nurses, physician therapists, professors, teachers who are working past 65. Oh, my God, people are working past 65 these days because either they love it or maybe something else is going on. Some people just have to, they're going to work, whatever choices they make. Some may happen in your life that requires you to continue working. If, uh, if something happens, you lose your investment, and illness come along and you have to pay more bills because a family member got sick and now you have to go back to work. You guys need to understand there's so many things that may require a person to continue working past 50. Y'all think 50 is that golden age. It is never the golden age. That is the government age because they hope you would be dead by the time you were 50 or 55. Y'all didn't understand that. They thought you wouldn't even make 55. Okay? So, if something happens and somebody has to return to work, y'all just don't understand that. And if you work, and if you've been in the workforce, you would know it. You would, if you ever worked and actually worked in the workforce and earned pension or 401k plan, you would understand that. If you've never been in the place workforce long enough to understand how a pension works, how retirement works, how a 401k plan works, then you wouldn't be saying some of the things that you're saying out here. It's a personal choice when a person retires. Thank you, Grateful. An internist I know had to help out his mother who had a disability stroke, so he is still working. You never know what happens. Anything could happen. Anything can happen, and some people work because they love it. I'll tell you this: my dad loved working. My dad didn't have to work past 44. My dad could have stopped working at the age of 44, sit down there, take his retirement check, take his military disability check, and sit his ass down at over 100,000 a year. My dad was making over $100,000 a year. My dad did not have to work. But nothing would allow that man to sit down until he was ready to sit down. And he didn't really sit down even in his 80s. The sucker was up there fixing cars in his 80s and flipping them. Why? Because he loved it. He loved it. That man didn't have to lift his finger in his 80s. He didn't have to lift his fingers in his 50s. He didn't have to lift his fingers in his 60s. But the man loved being purposeful. He loved working. And he wasn't going to sit down. He was going to find something to do. He was going to build something, do something in his 80s. I don't care. The man was still trying to go find it. In his 80s, he still wanted to go out there and try to find a job. I'm like, Dad, what do you want to do? I don't know. Maybe I can go work at the VA. Why do you want to go work at the VA? I'm talking to my dad, y'all. When I got home, my dad was 85 years old. Talking about he want to go work at the VA. Why? Why do you want to work at the VA? Because he can't sit his butt. He couldn't sit his butt down. Okay. So what did he do? He found projects to do. Well, I guess I'm gonna work on the truck. Well, I guess I'm gonna work on the shed. I'm like, shh. But I got that. I got that from my mom and my dad. I don't think I could sit down anywhere. If I wanted to, I don't think I could sit down. I'm just too, for me myself, I don't know. But things happen, y'all. Stop judging people if y'all don't know. And y'all talk about some people here working or retired early or went on disability early and y'all don't understand the system, then stop it. You know? Like I said, I have a friend that didn't want to start working at 40 something years old, making 100 plus thousand a year for Boeing. Y'all don't think she wanted to continue working, but her disability, her illness, but she'd already invested so much time. She'd already had enough time that when she did become sick, she had enough in her 401k. She had put enough time in for SSDI that afford her to live comfortably. But you think she want to start working? No. She's still trying to work somewhere. She's trying to go back to work. Does she have to work? No. But she's still young. She just turned 50. She just turned 50, 51. She wants to work. She already had her kidney transplant. She doesn't want to sit at home at 50 something years old. She don't have to go back to work, but she has a purpose. She wants to do something. So what's she trying to do? Open up a daycare center. I over sometimes to keep from getting bored with SSD. You're gonna need work. Let me tell you something. I don't care what nobody say. Driving Uber, I'm gonna tell you what. A lot of people laugh at people driving Uber, thinking that hey, it's a that I would if I ever go back and I want to do something part time, it would be driving Uber. I wouldn't want to do nothing else but drive Uber. I would want to work for myself. I wouldn't want to do I wouldn't want to go punch nobody else's clock. I wouldn't want to get up and do nothing else outside of me working. I would drive Uber. Before I go, I'd rather be on my own time and my own clock. And see, when you don't know better, Sharon, when you don't know the money that can be made driving Uber, people laugh. But if they only understood, I mean, it may be a little bit of wear on your car, but you have to keep up with that. Yeah, we will never be able to stop these judgmental comments, which is often mean the attempt to make somebody feel bad about their choice. Most definitely. But I will never regret driving Uber. And if I decide to go back out there and drive Uber again when I want to, if I want to, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it because that was fun. And that was some that was some extra money right there that you can make on your own time with your own boss. You ain't have to punch nobody else clock. Now, in my younger days, I was younger and wanted to do it. Yeah, no, I couldn't do it full time because that would be too much. But if you think about a part time job, I would do. It would be Uber. If I wanted to do another part time again, it would be Uber. I promise you, it would be Uber. It would be nothing but Uber. We will never be, and everybody got their own choice. Some people will never work Uber because they don't like the environment of having somebody in their car. But let me tell you, that's a job that you can go on and make anyway from an average, if you really really popping it, from $30 to $40 an hour. Okay, if you're really in a good area, you can make $30 to $40 an hour. You can work 2 hours, 3 hours and make $200 or $300. Not even that. I'm throwing 2 or 3 hours, but you can make in about 2 hours if you really popping in that day. But 2 hours of work, you can make $200 and $300. Where in some cases, you go on a job paying $25 an hour, you gotta work 8 hours. You go Uber, you can make that in less than 4 hours. You understand? You can go out and Uber and make a full day's work. If you can make $25 an hour, 8 hour work in less than damn 4 hours. You can cut that in half. If you were making $25 an hour, $30 an hour. Let's say 25 to $30 an hour. You can go out and Uber and kill it. Oh wow! The bad part, I do reservation pickup. Sometimes scammers will intercept and have you pick up from a fake place. So now I call the ride for. Oh God! I didn't know that was happening. Wow! I reservations. Oh, so you do people? Yeah, I've never done reservation. I don't think I've done reservation hours. Um, And when I worked in Chicago, because you had that expressway, it was a lot easier doing Uber in Chicago and in the suburbs because now the killer part about Uber in the suburbs was that damn toll, y'all. I mean, you get your money back on the tolls and everything, but man, I'm telling you, but when you worked in Chicago or going to the city was crazy. Now I didn't like going in the city because that was a killer on my time going into the city. And I didn't like long runs either because I don't like going out someplace in the wilderness driving 30 miles out and then nothing but no calls coming back. But I like the idea of being able to jump on the expressway and running, right? Boom, boom, boom. Shoot, I know doing like it was like let's see, I killed it doing what was it, St. Patty's Day downtown Chicago. Oh my God, y'all, you had to turn your phone off. I had to turn the damn app off, y'all. I couldn't. It was I made my money and went home. I'm like, I'm done. I mean, St. Patty's Day, downtown Chicago, what is it? Oak Ridge, Oak Park, between Oak Park and downtown Chicago. My God, man, you ain't. I promise you. Oh my God, the money you can make in that day. Yes, they send a list of people that make reservations that night, and I know him. Okay, I didn't know that. I hadn't done it since up. I hadn't run Uber Lyft since October. I did not know you can pick a list of people. Is that new? Is that something new, Sherry? Because I didn't know about that in October. I've never heard about reservations and you can set reservations. How long that's been going on, Sharon? Here in Virginia, you make more money doing reservations. I drive between 4 a.m. and 7. Oh, wow. Yeah, now they said if you can get out there like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, or you can work that midnight shift um, between Friday and Monday morning, man, you gotta make your pay. You gotta make a couple $1,000 between. A lot of people swear you can make a couple $1,000 between. I never like working after dark, after midnight. I think the latest I would work, in many cases, a few times I worked past midnight, but I try to get off the street by 9, at least by 9 o'clock. But they said after 9 o'clock on Fridays, getting up at going to work Fridays at midnight, Saturday, and all through the weekend, man, you could kill it. You could kill it. I've never done that, Sharon. That type of driving with reservations. But I tell anybody before I'll do Uber and Lyft before I go anyplace else. I would do Uber and Lyft before I go sending somebody office or store or anywhere else. If I want to do make extra money, I'ma go do Uber and Lyft. That's it. I'm not if I'm gonna do anything extra, any extra money, that's all I'm gonna do is Uber and Lyft. I'm not gonna do anything else. That's it. I'm not going to sit in nobody office for overtime if I don't have to. if if it's my regular job and I can work overtime, fine. But to go on another job and punch in somewhere else, nah, I'm gonna do Uber and Lyft. That's it. You crazy if you're not on that money out here on Uber and Lyft. People laugh, man. Talk about you driving Uber. You crazy. You crazy. You crazy. I would tell anybody if you sitting out there and you can't pay your bills, and you sitting out here and you got a car and you able to drive, shit, you crazy if you not out here. I mean, people. I can't say that because a lot of people have fears and distrust. So let me back up. I can't call them that because a lot of people just can't get in the car. Like my sister-in-law want to drive, but her husband won't allow her to drive. She don't have to, but I told her how good the money is, and her husband said, "Hell no." My brother said, "Hell no." My wife ain't going out there do no damn Uber. She don't have to, but I told her if she want to go make some money on the side. The husband said, "Hell no." So that was a no-no. But I'm just saying, Sharon, in 3 hours, I have made over 100. In 3 hours, I have made $200 plus, 250, close to $300 in 3 hours. I don't have to work after 3 hours of driving Uber. I have made that much money and hustling Uber in 3 hours. I promise you, I've made more than $100 in 3 hours. I promise you. I have made more than $100. Matter of fact, let me go pull it up and I can show you. I think I posted it before. I have made more than I've made up to maybe $300 in 3 hours, and I think I posted it. Oh, this is your reservation, people. Okay, yeah, I love it. I love it. I'm never gonna let nobody tell me about working Uber or Lyft. They can't shame me about Uber and Lyft. They tried to on this app. You ain't gonna never shame me about that money. I love that hustle. I love that hustle, man. I love it. There ain't nobody gonna never shame me about that extra money coming in my pocket. Shit, me. I ain't gonna never let nobody do that. Y'all let people shame y'all and working and making extra money if you want to, and come out here and have to ask them because they want you to be. No, I'm telling you, I ain't gonna never let nobody shame me and get in a hustle. That's right. I'm gonna get that money. Okay, I'm gonna get that money. I'm like my dad. Hell no. I'm gonna go get that money. And I love it. I love talking to people. I love sitting back in my car. The only thing I don't like, people get in my car smelling like weed and trying to eat in my car. Oh my God, get stop! I don't want nobody trying to eat in my car or get in my car smelling. Y'all saw the picture where I freeze the guy out. Man, he got in my car. Y'all, it was 19 degrees below zero. Negative 19. That sucker got in my car smelling like weed. Y'all, this was bad, y'all. This was bad. He got in my car. Either he would. Now, here's the situation. I think he was transporting. Not only was he smoking, I think he was transporting. He had a book bag. So I think he was also, because they use Uber, y'all. Unfortunately, You got to be careful because a lot of these guys have they're using Uber to as a mule to take their marijuana to different places. You can't prove it, but when they're traveling, I can smell it that damn strong. I'm like, this sucker probably carrying this shit in his book bag, or he just smoked. Whatever, which one is strong. I dropped that window on him in that back of the window. I'm like, I'm a you get in my car with that damn smell, and I'm like, I'm gonna get a contact from you. I dropped that back window at negative 19 degrees. You not gonna get me smelling. You not gonna make me sick, cause see, I only have women. Oh yeah, that's the good thing that you can choose to do women drivers. You know, you can select. I like that. Which one is that? I forgot. Is that Lyft or Uber that you can do women drivers? And love talking to people. Sharon, I love it. I love when I get in person in my car, and man, and they tip too. When you get a talk in your car, man, that could be a $20 tip, y'all. I promise y'all. You got the right person in your car. Now, some people, some cultures don't tip, no matter how good they talk. You talk to them, but you get a good ride in your car, and y'all talking, man, and you got a good conversation going on. That's easy, $10 plus tip sometime, just for conversation. And that's how I tip. Going to the airport and stuff, if the conversation is good and the Uber driver is a good driver and they got a good conversation, that increases your tip right there. Shit, your tip $10 and above right there just for the conversation. Just for the politeness and the conversation, we at a $10 tip right there. And normally coming from the airport, like because I stopped driving to the airport, so I would always take an Uber, and that was like anywhere from $65 to $100 every time I went to the airport. I was paying like $65 one way, maybe $100, but the conversation was good. Hell, that would may be anywhere from a $10 to a $20 tip just for the conversation, because we had a long ride from the airport from the suburbs to what is it called, O'Hare. So I have a good driver. Now I had an asshole of a driver one time. That sucker was playing crazy ass music and like he was about to ride. Man, get out here, man. So you got some crazy drivers. You drive Uber. Okay, Sharon. All right. I love it, Sharon. I tell anybody, man, if you like people, you ain't afraid to drive, and you got a decent car, man, you can make decent money on Uber. I try to tell my nephew and stuff like, man, you got a car, man, ain't no need for you. You can go make your you want to go take your girlfriend out to dinner. Don't call me for no freaking money. Go ahead and drive Uber, man, and you can go to work and take her out the damn work a few hours, work 2 or 3 hours, take her ass down to what that thing called Martin Steakhouse, man. You can drive about 2 or 3 hours and take her to Martin Steakhouse. Y'all know me, Martin Steakhouse. A meal by myself at Morton Steakhouse, just me by myself at Morton Steakhouse, almost $300 for one person. Ain't no way, ain't like that today now. I mean, I ain't. But back in the day, she's Morton Steakhouse, about $300 for me by myself. Uber card gives you cash back at certain gas. Yeah, they got all kind of stuff. Cash back you can do in the write off, man, at the end of the year, man. Because I don't know, I have to write so many things off because of Uber and YouTube. Shit, me. I have to do a lot of write off between Uber and YouTube and my regular job. Shit, the taxes alone, man. But yeah, but I don't know when I'm gonna start doing Uber again. But I think I'm gonna start again. I don't know when. But I just took a break since my dad died, and I hadn't been back. I just hadn't had the drive to do it. But I would go back. I would do Uber again. I definitely would. If I ever wanted to just go out for a day and just hang out for a day and make money for a day, that's the thing about it. Once you get your car registered with Uber or Lyft, you got your own time. You can get up any time of the day, any time of the night, and go out there and like gas up your car. I want to go make a couple $100. I'm gonna be out here from maybe 6 in the morning to about what 6 to about 8. Man, working in when I was in, it was so much easier in Chicago because of traffic. I could move through the traffic in the suburb. I had to be to work at 8. I would get up at 6 and go knock out a few drives in the morning. Shoot, get to work. I already made $100 before I went to work that morning. So getting up between 6, and I would go to Joliet, and they had that time already set. Like you're making plus $10 an hour, plus an extra $10 an hour, so you making damn near $20 an hour. Plus, they already got you in the bonus already. So now we making on top of the ride. Say the ride gonna pay $15. You might got $10 to $15 on top of that ride. You see what I'm saying? So you got a ride for 10, and if you in that bonus plus 10 plus 15 on top of the ride, that's $20 for one ride. That was crazy. And I went to Juliet like that. I got up into Joliet, up there in Illinois. Man, I was like killing it before I went to work. I'm like, let me go up. Shoot. So you guys, I'm telling you, don't shake your head at Uber and luck. Don't let people make you turn off something that if you need an income. Don't let people that don't work or don't know don't tell you about Uber and Lyft and they don't have no job and they dependent on anything else but working. Don't let nobody scare you from hustling out here with Uber or Lyft. I'm gonna tell you, you're leaving money on the table if you ain't afraid to work. If you're not afraid to work, man, you leaving money on the table with Uber and Lyft. Now, a lot of people talking. I follow rideshare guy, and if you follow rideshare guy, they're the one that they're the social media platform that kind of tell you what's going on with Uber and Lyft, the new laws and new changes, and they call the rideshare guy. Um, they tell you a lot what's going on, but I'm telling you, a lot of people have even don't even work anymore and went straight. This guy came from Ukraine, not Ukraine, Ukraine, and he does nothing but Uber, and he's over to take care of his entire family, his wife and his kid, just to drive an Uber. So some people make it work. Some people he drives. He got a Tesla, and man, he made that sucker work. Especially if you got like a hybrid or an electric car. If you got an electric car or a hybrid, hell, you doing pretty good. Hit the like button. Thank you. If you guys want to, I don't know who all's in here, but if you guys want to help me hit the goal, fine. If not, 1 out of 10. Hey, I'm good, y'all. I appreciate that. 1 out of 10, I'll take that. I'll take that. Thank you. Who was that? That was. I don't want to forget who did that. That was Grateful. Thank you, Grateful. I appreciate that. Yeah, but man, getting out here and hustling, y'all. I'm telling you. Uh, Thank you, Sharon, for the $2. I appreciate that. I'm gonna tell you, DoorDash and things like that. Ship. I just ain't getting up my car and deliver anything, y'all. I just ain't getting out my car and doing no deliveries. But I've heard a lot of people, y'all, doing extremely well on DoorDash and Ship. What is it called? Ship something? Is it Ship? I forgot what it's called. It starts with an S. Retired. Ship. Is it Shift or you go in the grocery stores and you're shopping for people? Um, Instacart. A lot of people are being very. I'm just telling you. A lot of people are being successful. If you out here struggling a lot and you have a car and you need to do something, Instacart is one called Shift or is it Ship? Ship or Shift? Ship? I forgot what it's called. It's Instacart is one. Shipmate, ship something, whatever it is. She was telling me that people are making like buku money going to shop for people's groceries. I can't go shop for nobody groceries because I ain't want nobody shopping for my groceries. I forgot what it's called. Shift, but I'm very picky. I've done Instacart before. I had people deliver me Instacart, but emotionally resilient, self-confidence, people can't be shamed by anyone. Most definitely grateful too. Don't let people shame you into doing what you need to do to survive out here. If not only survive, doing what you love to do. Don't let people shame you into something that if you gotta do it, fine. If you want to do it because you enjoy doing it, you don't have to answer to nobody. Don't you be out here missing that, doing anything because somebody try to shame you into doing something. A lot of times, people, definitely in this sector, try to make you feel bad for doing something that you may want to do or need to do or want to do. Don't let that happen. I forgot what it's called. And I love that grateful. Grateful hitting on the marks. I emotionally resilient, self-confident people can't shame by anyone. Don't let nobody shame you into going out here and doing what you're doing to make a living, an honest living. If it be you have to go out here and work anywhere, they try to shame me talking about being a what is it called? What is it called? They said I was um, a let me see what it was. They try to shame me about being a um I forgot what it was called. Let me think about it. A truancy officer. They try to shame me about being a truancy officer. And let me tell you something. A job that keeps people, kids in school, a job that goes to a family and try to make sure a child stays in school and get their education and do everything to prevent that child from leaving school. There's no shame in that. There is no shame in being a truancy. Even though I was not a truancy officer, if I was one, there would never be a shame of being one. Because that is a job with a purpose. If you are a truancy officer, don't ever, ever, ever. Because if I was a truancy officer, I would have came out here and said I was one. And I would say it proud and loud. I'm a truancy officer. My job is to help family and kids stay in school. Somebody got to do it. And if that means I have to go out to that child's home and talk to that child and talk to that child's parents to encourage that child's education, I would do it. Don't let nobody shame you into doing a job with a purpose. They wanted to shame me about being a truancy officer. I wasn't a truancy officer. But they wanted me to feel bad about being one. But if I was one, I would say proudly, I am a truancy officer. I would have no shame in saying that. It's a job and it pays, but it has a purpose. You understand me? Thank God for truancy officers because they're helping kids get back into school. They're helping parents find resources. They're helping them get into the court system if the child is called incorrigible. So you have kids that are incorrigible. That means they're not following the parents' rules. They're not following the rules of the home. So now you got to charge them with incorrigible. And if that helps them get back into school, if that helps them get to the resources, that is what we need. So there is no shame if to being a truancy officer. There is none at all. None at all. Because guess what? If I was a truancy officer, I'd be one of the damn best one out there. Because I'm going to make sure them damn kids get in school. I'm going to make sure I talk to the parents. I'm going to make sure I do everything to make sure that child get back into school and get an education. You see what I'm saying? So don't let people shame you. Whatever you're doing, whatever your purpose is, whether you're working for Uber, Lyft, got your own business, don't let nobody shame you. Or being a truancy officer, don't let nobody shame you. You understand? Do not allow anybody to shame you with whatever you're doing out here. Okay? Okay? And let me tell you how big my growth is. I don't care if you're working now. If you got to work somewhere to take care of your family, I don't care where it's at. If you out here doing an honest day living, this is growth, y'all. Because I was a part of that, part of that thing, making people feel bad at where they're working at. But this is growth. If you come in putting the time in and you doing an honest day work, you do it. You do what you got to do to take care of your family. I don't care what you're doing. If it's honest and if it's paying the bills, if it's keeping you afloat, you do what you got to do. Don't let nobody shame you. Okay? Don't let nobody make you feel bad. If whatever you got to do to take care of your family, you do what you got to do. Hey, Granny K. Granny K, man, I saw your last post. Um, Welcome in, y'all. Granny K is a content creator. Also, Granny K Party Favors. Y'all gotta go check out her channel, y'all. Y'all gotta go. This lady is the truth when it comes to party favors and things that you need. Y'all check out Granny K Party Favors. I seen the last one you did with I forgot the little boy sitting up there dancing on the ad and stuff like that. Oh, I know it was Will Smith, um, Prince of Bel Air. That was nice. That was nice. Y'all check out Granny K Party Favors. That was good. This lady is the truth, y'all. Y'all got kids. Y'all need some party favors. Y'all go check out Granny K Party Favors, okay? She is the truth, y'all, when it comes to doing this stuff. I wish I had moved forward, Granny K. You know we talked about some things and I didn't move forward with it. But don't worry. One day I'll step forward. But right now, y'all shout out to Granny K Party Favors. Y'all go if you got birthday parties, you got graduations, weddings, whatever you may need, y'all. We got a content creator on this channel right here, y'all. If y'all want to support a person that a business African American that has a great business, y'all seen her stuff, y'all seen it on her channel, go check it out. If you talk about supporting black businesses, go check out Granny K Party Favors, okay? Go check her out, y'all. Her stuff, and I have spoken to her in reference to stuff, y'all. She is upfront. She will guide you, talk to you, and lead you in the right direction. I'm honestly, guys, I've talked to her because I was going to put some product out, but I had to back off for other reasons. But I'm tell you what, I'm telling you, you want a professional that's going to guide you and talk to you the right way and what you need, and not upsell or anything like that. Talk to Granny K Party Favors. I'm telling you, I had a great conversation And when I was about to put my products out, but y'all go check her out. Go check her channel out. Go see for yourself. Granny K, I'm gonna tell her. I'm gonna tell the truth. I'm not out here. I'm gonna tell the truth. Good. I'm a person that's going to support good business. I like professional. I like people that put things out professionally, and when you speak to them, they're professional and they're upfront, and they're going to help you, and I'm going to promote that. That's how I am. I don't look at anything else. I look at professionalism, quality, care. That's what means the most to me. I don't care who you are. That's what. If y'all looking for a professional, Granny K Party Favors, y'all go look at her channel. I promise you guys, y'all gonna love it. I've talked to this woman. I know what I'm talking about, and y'all know I'm not gonna put anything out here that's not good. Okay? Thank you, Granny K. Yeah, I don't mind doing that. I don't mind helping, promoting people that are doing good things. That's how I always been. I'm going to support you if you're doing good things. You're professional. Your quality, and if it matters to you, it matters to me. Um, and that's how I support. And thank you, Granny K. Party Favors. Y'all go check out her channel. Most definitely. Thank y'all guys for the like button. 48 likes, y'all. Thank y'all. Um, I appreciate that. I hope you guys that are subscribing, the 48 likes, I hope you subscribe to my channel. I thank y'all, because I don't know who you are, but I got 28 people in here and 48 likes. So that means people are peeping in. Y'all, thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. I really do. I really do. Thank you guys. Um, 20K, thank you for the floating heart. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Um, y'all know I'm gonna try to keep it as real as possible. I'm very, like I said, I my channel is what it is, and yeah, it is what it is, and I'm going to try to bring as much realness and how I feel about things, and like I said, and bring the much truth as I can bring to the channel, much transparency as I can, you know. So yeah, yeah. I appreciate Dimple J's coming in. A lot of you guys, and you grateful too. You Dimple J grateful too, and Sharon, thank you guys. You guys are awesome, coming in and sharing, because y'all don't have to, but a lot of people sit back in the cut. I don't want nobody to feel shame about coming out here, and having to do what you need to do to take care of your family and yourself. Okay, we got to do what we got to do. The world is changing. Things are not what it used to be 20, 30 years ago. There's a lot more expectation, a lot more changes in the laws when it comes to Medicare. Medicare. I was talking to my family member who works with insurance, and it's sad what people are going through, y'all. You got to be careful out here with these insurances going when you on Medicare and Medicare. There's so many things that are happening. People are losing their insurance, chasing this money. Y'all be careful. Watch your people out there. Okay, let me tell you something. Watch your people out there that are on Medicare, because there's so much offers coming out there right now that the people are losing their doggone they're losing their things that they need based on these offers that the government or whomever is offering this free food and free money. Y'all, ain't nothing free. Okay, there's always going to be a give and take. Watch out for your family members that are older, that are watching the TV channels, the TV offering free food cards and this and that. I have a relative, close relative, that works with an insurance company, and they're trying to help people that are making these mistakes. They're going out here trying to get the food card. And when they get the food card, their insurance goes up, and then they lose some of the benefits. They lose their transportation. They can't go to the doctor they were going to. It's so much happening, y'all. Please be careful out there. Okay? Be careful. Go check on your older ones that are getting this Medicare and got Medicaid, and they're losing their benefits because they're following what's going up on this TV. Okay, I told you before, I've worked with clients that have lost their benefits, certain privileges because they went for the food cards and the extra money. And I try to explain to them nothing is free, is a give and take. You take the food card, they up your insurance, and then now you can't come see me anymore. As a therapist, you can't come see the psychiatrist anymore, and then you lost your transportation, and now you can't see certain doctors. Medicare Advantage plans are getting dropped left and right. Original Medicare is the one. Oh, let me tell you, Caddy, 1975. My I have a like I said, I have a relative that works closely in insurance. You guys, pay attention to what Caddy just said. There are changes coming. Benefits are changing. You're not going to get what you used to get. There's so much change is coming. Um, please pay attention to what's going on with Medicare and Medicaid and all the stuff that they're offering. So many people are calling, yelling, and screaming and worried about where they're at and what they got. Um, Cash Medicare, y'all gotta pay attention. Please look out for your elders out there because changes are coming. People are concerned. Um, benefits are being wind down. I don't know what to say, y'all. Y'all gotta pay attention. What's out here now? What was out here 10 years ago, 15 years ago, guys, is changing. And we got to pay attention to what's coming down the pipeline when it comes to Medicare, Medicaid, if you're on Medicaid, and definitely for Medicaid Advantage, A, B, whatever you want to call it. Pay attention to what's going on um, as well. Pay attention. Anybody that's familiar with Medicare, Medicaid changes, if you want to drop into the audience and share what you know about these changes, please drop down because people need to be aware. I mean, there's so many things that we're not paying attention to, and I want to use my channel. And if you know for a fact some of the things that are happening and you want to share, I want to use my channel to put it out there. I want because right now, what I know, pay attention to what's happening with Medicare. There are changes on the way. There are things that uh, looking at what is considered what's the word I want to use? What's the word I want to use? Chronic illnesses and stuff. What is considered chronic illness, what is not, can impact Medicaid and Medicare. I forgot. I need to bring them on here. I don't know if they're gonna come on, but yeah, Medicare Advantage plan. So you guys, yeah, pay attention to your plans. Don't be too quick to take all those offers. See what you're going to lose because there's nothing there for free. Ain't nobody giving anything out here for free. Uh, the only good thing about your advantage getting dropped is you can switch to original Medicare without being denied if you can afford a supplement plan and part of a D drug plan. Okay, and you know it's 1 year now, right? I think it used to be, Caddy, tell me if I'm right. At one time, you could call and change at any given time. If I'm correct now, with Medicare, you have to wait till the year. If I'm correct, you can't make changes until the open season. until opening in October or September, if I'm correct. Is that correct, Caddy? Because at one time you could call and make changes with Medicare, but now I believe you have to wait until opening season, like October, September. Tell me if I'm correct. If anybody knows if that's correct or not, like I said, that's what I thought I heard. That Medicare is now on a thing where you have to wait till when the season is open, like October or September, right around, if you know, every year unless you live in a certain state. Every year, every year unless you work in a certain state. Okay, because I know it changed. Because one time you'll be able to call in 2023 before I left Illinois, you could make changes, but I believe it was last year where they changed it. But I believe 2023, 2024, you could call and make changes in the middle of the year. But I believe it was 25, 2026 where the changes where you have to wait a year now. And you said every year unless you live in a certain state. Open season October 5th. There you go. Open season is between October 15th and December 7th. That is correct. At one time, you could go call in and make changes throughout the year. Now it's between October 15th and December 7th. Thank you, Caddy. I appreciate that. That was one of the changes that came through. I think my family member told me between 2024 and 2025. Thank you, Caddy. Open season. Now, this is also a lot of times, guys, if y'all are listening, a lot of people start calling your family members that are elders around that time, and they're not really insurance people. I had so many of my clients got scammed during that time because people called saying that they were from different insurance company, get their information from the bank, and start depleting their accounts. I've had clients call screaming and crying because they thought they were talking to during that time was an insurance person, and they gave out their bank information. So please be careful, and watching out for your older folks that are out there talking to people on the phone, because what they're doing, they're pretending to be insurance people and they're getting bank information and depleting these people bank accounts, these elders bank account. So please be mindful of that, because a lot of times I know some our old people like myself, nobody can tell us nothing. We want to handle our business. Don't talk to us. We know what we're doing. Because you trying to think I'm old, you think I can't do my business, and then all of a sudden I got you calling me screaming and crying that your whole bank account was taken out. And unfortunately, I went through that with several clients that called me screaming and crying because things changed in the insurance or their bank account got depleted, um, as well. Working as a therapist in Chicago was rewarding. Um, um, you know, uh, but yeah, it was rewarding. But I no longer can practice here in the state of South Carolina. um, I enjoyed talking to you guys tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. It was enlightening. I hope a lot of people benefit from the conversation. Subscribe to the channel. I do this sometimes, guys. I come on, and talk about a lot of different things. And if the information you received tonight was benefit, please hit the subscription button. Like I said, I come on, I talk about anything and everything. Sometimes I can be talking about sector business. Or I'll just come on and talk about what's going on in the world, from politics to local news to events that are going around the world, unjust law enforcement, anything. I can talk about anything. And the best thing about my channel is that you can come on and You can talk about anything with me. See, that's the best thing. I'm here to listen, learn, and gather information for people that can take it. And you can always take something from it. You can if you don't get everything, right? You can take something and leave something. You don't have to take everything. And that's the best thing I love about my channel. If y'all see the people that come on and they're willing to share their experience, they're willing to share what their information, like Dimple J, Caddy, Grateful 2, Sharon, Granny K Party Favors. This is what this channel is about. All right. We don't have to always agree. We can disagree. But my channel at times is where you can pick up some information and and take it and use it for your best, for whatever purpose possible. I'm always not about the drama. I can come out and talk about sector business, what I see, what I observe, but also I can come out here and talk about what matters as well. What matters to you, what matters to me, and I got great people willing to come out here and share their story because I make it comfortable and easy for people to come and talk about what they want to share and without judgment. And I thank you guys. Grateful, so thank you, Caddy 1975, for sharing. Thank you, most definitely. See, a lot of people don't know open season is October 15th to December 17th. And let me tell you what, this is when my family member is into insurance. And I was thinking about getting into it. This with disclosure. I'm thinking about getting into insurance sales, health insurance sales, because it's a very lucrative job, right? Getting into it, but man, I'm just thinking the amount of time you got to spend on the phone talking to people. As much as I love talking, and the money that could be made in insurance sale is crazy. Anybody in insurance sales, the amount of money that can be made if you're good between October 15th and December 7th on commission, from what I know, from what I've been advised, shoot, I just don't know if I have that time to put into insurance sales. Shoot, I was thinking about going and getting my license and selling insurance, health insurance. Man, anybody out here on health insurance want to drop down and talk about health insurance sales? Because man, if you're good at sales, if you can sell ice to Eskimos, listen up. If you can sell ice to Eskimos, but also understand, and the same thing, be understanding, you don't have to sell. But if you're good at sales, insurance sales is a place to be. All right. Thank you, Candy Jones. There is also a period from January 1st to March 31st where you can change if you're not sure you made the right decision. So that's good to know. Y'all listen up. Caddy said there's a period between January 1st. I didn't know that now, Caddy. I didn't know that. So Caddy said there's a period between January 1st and March 31st where you can change if you're not sure you made the right decision during the open season. That is good to know. So you guys screenshot that information that open season is open or October 15th to December 7th. And if you need to make changes between January 1st to March 31st. So if you got family members that need this information, y'all, please do. Sales and insurance. Y'all, I'm thinking about that. I thought about that. I was going to go ahead and get my license um, in health insurance sales and life insurance. I don't think I want to do life insurance. I think I would do health insurance. I want to go. I was thinking about go ahead and get my license in selling health insurance. and working with one of the major companies. Um, I thought about it. I don't, but my main thing is I love talking to people, but the the thing that get me is being monitored, being somebody listening to you and watching your sales. And I just don't know about that because what happens is you're being monitored the entire time. Anybody insurance sales drop down, the entire time you're being monitored in reference to that sale, and you get feedback on that sale. Like, you should have said this and you didn't say this. I'm like, oh, hell no. The money is great. You can make good money. Hell, you work October to all that time, you get your commission in March or April. You can make anyway in commission. You got a base salary right about 50,000, 60,000 a year, but in commission sales you can make. You don't have to work the rest of the year. Let's say that if you do well, you ain't got to work from the spring until fall until if you don't want to. Let's say if you do really good in sales, you don't have to work from March until October if you're really good. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Drop down the chat. Once you get your commission between March and April, you ain't got to work again until October or September if you don't want to. And that's commission is pretty good. I just don't want nobody sitting there monitoring me. I don't know. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Any insurance people out here that can talk about insurance and making that money, that real good money? Anybody know anything what I'm talking about? People that sell insurance, health insurance. Because I swear, my family member that does health insurance, whoo, they got me wanting to do it, but I just don't know. Use a broker instead of agent. Agent will steer you to their company. Brokers check all available in your ear. Okay, says Caddy. Caddy says use a broker instead of an agent. Agent will steer you to their company. Okay, yeah, because brokers make money. Okay, now being a broker, they're gonna look for the best deal for you because they're gonna make money on that deal. Like when I brought my stuff down here on a, on when okay, for example, when I had my car on a trailer, okay, when I had my car, remember I flew down here and I had my car transported down here by a transport company. I got a broker. And what that broker did, well, I used several brokers and they were competing against each other. Because what I did, I called the broker and I told that broker I had another broker. And so they started competing against each other, right? So the best deal I got to bring my car down here was $1,000. 1,000, was it 1,000? Yeah, because the broker got the transporter got 750 and the broker got 250. So my car transported from Chicago to Charleston for $1,000 on a trailer. So that person got 750 in cash and the broker got 250 off top. So what that broker did is shop around until they got me the best deal. So you're right about that. Using a broker, they're gonna shop around until they get you that best deal. And that's what that broker did. Cause I would call. They said what I would do. I'm not sure how insurance work, but this is how an example of how I use the broker. They're like, do you have another person working? Yes, I do. I have this company working, looking for the best deal, and then you're working. And they're like, well, we're going to find you the best deal. So that broker went to work until they came with $1,000. And I'm like, I'll take that $1,000 to get my car transport. So use a broker instead of an agent, cause yeah, that was crazy, y'all. But that's how that works. So kind of when you use a broker, kind of shop around. Let them know you got several. Caddy, would you agree when you're using a broker to let them know that? I'm not sure how it works for insurance, but I let the broker know that I had another broker working, and so that kind of make them work a little extra and trying to get me the better deal. Do you agree, Caddy, or disagree? Is it the same for insurance or different? I'm gonna read this statement again from Grateful 2. Retirement is a personal decision influenced by finances. This is the statement of the day of the month of the year. Retirement a personal decision influenced by finances, health, family responsibility, and personal fulfillment. Grateful to got the statement of the year when it comes to retirement. If you don't understand, read it again. Retirement is a personal decision influenced by finances, health, family responsibility, and personal fulfillment. Grateful 2 has the statement of the year. Thank you, Grateful 2. Once again, guys, I'm going to get up out of here. It's been 2 hours. Man, I appreciate y'all so much. I think I have the one of the best channels out here with some of the best supporters and subscribers right now. You guys are awesome. I appreciate y'all coming and sharing y'all stories, y'all information that benefits. This is information that will benefit those that need it. Um, I'm proud of my channel. Different for insurance. The two broker companies I know of don't change anything. And if you have problems later, okay, most definitely. Different for insurance. The two broker companies I know of don't charge anything, and if you have problems later, they will help you. Okay, so broker for insurance and brokers for what I'm talking about when it comes is totally two different things. Caddy say so. Y'all remember, brokers that I'm talking about when it comes for insurance and when it comes to your vehicle being towed are totally two different things. Thank you, Caddy, for that information. Most definitely appreciate it. You guys are awesome. And I'm going to come back in the morning. I don't know what time to get us started in the morning with deep breathing exercises, affirmation. Thank you, Candy, for the $2. Much appreciated. You guys are awesome. I know you guys are sitting in the bushes listening in. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys. You know, with the helping me toward my goal. Much appreciated. Um, Thank you, Candy. Y'all know Candy's been here for a while from the Shy Town. You guys are awesome. And I hope everybody was benefit from this information. Take it. Hopefully it'll benefit somebody that you know, if not you. Uh, I'm so proud of my channel. I love this channel. Um, I love the direction it's going in. Um, like I said, hopefully as I move on, that I can bring more good stuff out of the blue. We had a great conversation today, and you guys were awesome. And I'm just hoping everybody gets something from it. You guys check out the other content creators out here. Granny Pot, and they may not be on the channel, but I'm gonna shout them out today. Granny K Party Favors, guys. Y'all go over there, check her out, support the business. I'm telling you, look at her stuff, give her an opportunity, give her a chance. This lady put out good stuff. Everybody that I've seen that ordered from her has talked about the quality, and they've been pleased about her stuff. Um, y'all have so many channels: Ambrio Nicole, It's Gamma's World. Get your big fat ass up. Not that big fat. Get your big ass up. You got Loving Lucinda. Um, you got Angel Mom. These are channels that are growing in a way that is bringing things to the channel, to the sector that you can use, take something from. You got Serenus K-pop. Um, you got so many people sharing their story. You got Fee Real Reaction that talks about her journey with her. She has a channel and that discuss her journey with her um, um, transplant, kidney transplant. You have so many channels out here that are bringing information um, out here, and we got the drama here. We know drama pays, right? We know what time it is when it comes to the drama, the ongoing story of this sector. But we also know that there are people that are bringing things that are feeding us good information. We got Beautifully Healed. We got Beautiful Blossom. Beautiful Blossom and her journey, her weight loss, and doing things. We got In the Safe Zone, guys. In the Safe Zone, mental health, her journey, her life story as well. Uh, so we do have the channels here that are bringing things. Check out Dr. Vera on YouTube, Justice, everything Medicare, Medicaid. So Caddy this year, Dr. Ware on YouTube, talking about everything Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. So if you have some questions that you need answer about what's going on about Medicare, Social Security, and Medicaid, check out Dr. Ware, Dr. Weir, Dr. Ware. Thank you, Caddy, as well. Um, like I said, thank you, Candy Jones, once again as well. Hailing from Chicago. I was telling my friend just a while ago, I'm thinking Chicago or Washington. I knew I want to go to Washington State, but I told my friend I got off the phone her. She just called me while y'all were on here. I want to go back to. I'm thinking Chicago, but I can't come back to that snow candy. I'm gonna change it up a minute. Something is telling me that Charleston is not my end destination. I don't think Charleston is where I'm gonna settle. Okay, Charleston is not where I'm gonna settle. I can feel it in my bones. This is not my check. This is not my final destination. Um, Even though Chicago has been popping back in, I don't think I can deal with that snow and that 4 o'clock darkness in November. Okay, that darkness at 4 o'clock kills me. Y'all, in Chicago at 4 o'clock in November, 4 o'clock is like 10 o'clock at night. I don't think I can do it, not even for the food. But I'm thinking more Washington State when it comes. I think my final destination will be Washington State. I'm praying on it. I'm asking for guidance to see if that will be. Even though sometimes I think about Chicago going back, I don't think I can do that cold. I don't think I can do those winters. I love Chicago. That was my second home, my first of second home. I love Chicago. Y'all gotta understand, Chicago was a part of me that gave me growth after 40 something years of living in one state. Chicago provided a growth. Um, okay, so I heard it's beautiful there in Washington State. That's where I'm leaning to, Caddy, going to Washington. Even though I don't know why Chicago's popping back up. Um, but I don't think it's going to be Chicago. I can't deal with that snow. I don't want to be able to. I just can't. I mean, as much as I love Chicago, as much growth as Chicago provided me, leaving the state of South Carolina and coming to a place that was foreign to me, didn't know nothing about it, and you know, Chicago grew provide provided growth in my old ass age and in my 40s. Chicago gave me a sense of dealing with different people from different a whole different type of people. Chicago is a whole different vibe, y'all. The people are different, the vibe is different, and you and it's just different. But man, I'm telling you, flying into Chicago, the beautiful skyline. If you ever flew, yeah, I'm gonna carry on. I'm gonna keep talking. If you ever flew into Chicago in the middle of the night, 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, you ain't never seen a more beautiful skyline. Matter of fact, y'all, I'm gonna come back live and talk about flying into Chicago. Y'all hold tight. We gonna carry on. We gonna end this and come back. I'll see y'all in just a minute.